Do you have your arm just a swinging, waiting for a great deal? Well, you're in good luck, folks, because we got some new merchandise for you. If you want some simple designs or you just think the black t-shirt's too hot, this is the release for you. Available now, the Puddins Fab Shop with the Mexican blanket logo insert. Just couldn't help it, guys. We had to do the logo with the PFS blue. And if the black's too hot, get you one in heather gray today. Let's keep the heather gray going in a flowing. You don't like black shirts, but you like old rusty turds and you like the Puddins Fab Shop, then this shirt's for you. The light blue with white logo with the patina added. And then lastly, but not leastly, the credo of all the Puddins Fab Shop people. Sitting on your ass won't finish your project. We've restocked the classic. Get them while they're hot, guys. Very limited supply. And our gray shirts usually do not last long. Besides them, we may have your size for our last release because come to find out some of our quantities were incorrect. So we probably have these available for you as well. As always, guys, thanks for supporting Puddins Fab Shop from me and my family to you. Thank you for the support over the years. Now, I hope y'all get a kick out of this video. This one's very, very, very special to me. Enjoy. Welcome back to Puddins Fab Shop. Exactly 1 week ago today, I was out here to do a walk around at the historic CDC Auto Ranch where this field was full of cars. Was full, because as you can see now, there's not much left. Now luckily for us guys, we managed to hook us a good one on our fishing pole here, right here. The one thing I did not expect to find on our last trip, AMC. In fact, we've got a 1974 AMC Hornet with a 304. And in this video, we're gonna see if we cannot get this thing running and driving again and take her all the way back to Oklahoma. I'm not sure how long she's been off the road, but she ain't been tagged or inspected since 1994. Now, if you're gonna buy an old classic car that you know absolutely nothing about and try to drive it home, and you get to see it a week before, I recommend you do more than I did. I opened one door and kind of looked in there and I popped the hood and went, yep, there's a motor, I'll take it. Did I grab the motor to see if it was locked up? No, absolutely not. Did I think to try a brake pedal or just check anything? No. I know they've moved cars here with forks on a loader, so I was highly concerned we may have a bent drive shaft. However, it looks like the drive shaft is right here. Let's check the oil on it real quick, assuming I can find the dipstick. I've never worked on an AMC in my life. I found her dipstick for her transmission, I believe. And she ain't the prettiest color we've ever seen. Since we're checking fluids, I'm sure this is, yep, nice and full. Okay, I can't see a single drop in there. Let me get a hold of this thing and see if we can spin it at all. Oh yeah, she turns. That wind's whipping today, so these gentlemen were nice and they brought this over here along the tree line for me. We're gonna do some shade tree mechanicing, guys. How's that? Just quick way, what I can tell, up there it tells it's a 304. This is like a motorcraft style carburetor, so that makes me happy to see. Being a 74, we should just have points ignition in here. I see we've got a starter solenoid similar to how the Fords do as well. She does have power steering. She does not have power brakes. One of the obvious things to notice on it is the Easter egg blue color with the little speckled patina. This right here, folks, is a wagon that any family would be proud to be seen in. She is a sportabout, whatever that means. She's got a roof rack for your luggage. She's missing a mirror. She's almost missing a piece of trim, but being the handyman I am, fix that. I meant she's missing 2 mirrors and a hubcap, but overall fairly complete. Ignition looks turned forward, but there's not a key in there. Holy crap, that dash don't even look cracked from here. Headliner's in decent shape. Guys, overall, this thing should turn into a pretty cherry little run-around rig, assuming the mechanicals are good. Very low expectations here. And the door only drops an inch when you go to close it. I was guessing it was gonna be 2, so 1 inch ain't bad. Now, I still ain't got a dang clue if it's got any oil at all in it. I can see a lot of dust down there. That's most certainly what you want to see going down into your motor. Bunch of dirt, debris, spider webs. And if I can't find a dipstick, then we almost just have to go straight to draining it to make sure we have some in here. I brought an oil change with us. I brought an overabundance of tools, that and that. Fresh battery, gotta have gas and a lift system. Toilet paper / hand cleaning wipes. I brought brunch, and I brought a rebuild kit, aka some brake clean and goop all and a little brake fluid and towels. Just enough to get us rocking and rolling out here. Now, I did call ahead some AMC parts for this thing. Whoop. Yep. We're gonna engage all of our safety features this go around. Shake test. She's solid. I found some floor mats right here in the back of this Ford, so we can just continue to work on our floor here. It's gonna be just like being in the shop. After crawling up in here, I've located this, which is where our dipstick's supposed to be. I can feel the hole. Let's just drain this sucker. I just gotta find out how to drain this sucker. guys, I could not have freaking got that damn lucky right there. I was hoping to find like some hubcaps or something, and there's literally a stinking drain pan in this that's being used as a lid for the bourbon. Thank you, Lord. Please have oil. Yes. All right. That missing those oil pieces was having me a little nervous, and she don't even look bad. She definitely smells like fuel. Yep. And she tastes like fuel. That oil looks fairly healthy, pretty see-through, not overly brown or nothing, so that's a good sign, guys. Just a little fuel contaminated. Now if we give this back to that Suburban, it's gonna have an oil bath breather like it was from the 50s. All right, there we go. Found our starter. Oil pan's had a couple smacks in it today. Aha! Found oil filter right above me. I think we could have ran this oil, guys. Should have been fine. More great findings. I did not even bring a pair of channel locks. That's okay. A mechanic can just remember, where there's a wheel, there's a way, and hammers fix a lot of stuff. Get us draining. Now I'm gonna hammer that all the way through and try to spin on this. Oh yeah, see? There she goes. We're gonna get her. Oh yeah, we're rocking and rolling now. She is the AC Delco PF24 Puddins Fab right there, baby. After finding that drain pan and seeing that right there, I am determined this is meant to be. Get a little oil on our new seal here to wet it. And she lays sideways, but I'm still gonna put a little bit in her. Get our new one threaded on. Only spilt a little bit down my arm. Keeps your elbow nice and lubricated. Good for your joints. And let's get this out of here and try not to make a mess. Good job, team. Now, because of my lack of knowledge on the AMC, Google tells me that it requires 5 quarts of oil. However, some owners recommend running an extra quart, according to the AMC forum. That's because the engine design can cause oil to pool in the valve covers during extended high RPM operation. It sounds a lot like what it's gonna be enduring driving to the house. We don't have an extra quart. We'll pretend the extra quart's there in spirit. How's that? We're gonna need an extra quart. I keep pouring this oil all over this motor instead of in it. Hey Miles, that thing got an oil leak? Nope, Puddin just serviced it. Here at Puddin's Oil Changes, we have the promised oil leak guarantee. If your motor ain't leaking oil, we'll leak it all over the front for you. Now call me old-fashioned, should probably be all right, but I want to pull these spark plugs and spray some lube in there because I do want this to be a really good motor to us. Google told me once again that the firing order on this thing, well, one, it's right there, 1-843-6572, but I wasn't sure which one was number 1. That's right here. So this is basically the same setup as like your small block Chevrolets, 1, 3, 5, 7, your evens down that side. So we know as long as they had it correct, which we're assuming they did, but you know what assuming does, number 1's right here, and we will follow number 1 all the way to right here. So I'm gonna mark that. Then we will pull these, because we're gonna pull the spark plugs to kind of see what that can tell us about this old girl, but also to spray some lube in there. That's good. That's what you want. We can have one bad plug wire on this side, one on that side, and just make her a V6, no problem. Those plugs to me look like champions, and they look like the big hunkers. Oh, she's coming. We like that. Woo! Look at them bad girls right there. A little fouled out. She was running a little rich, but look at the buildup on them too. Let's see how number 1 looks. Well, she looks better than number 3 for sure. She don't look fouled out. Number 5. Oh, she's burning clean. See what number 7 has to say here. Oh, we'll drop it. She is the champion. You can see right there. Oh, she's a little fouled out. I picked up dirt when I dropped it. Now, so there she is. I did bring a can of Looby Dooby with me. Hey, I may not have an extra quart, but I forgot I grabbed that old Hyper Lube. Well, let's get just a little more lubrication up in this situation, guys. Hey, may have just found our new cap too. We'll lube that. Look at those, that master cylinder. Let's just lube those while we're here, be a little proactive. Oh, she ain't got the accuracy straw. Boy, that's unfortunate. It's all right. I'm gonna give us a blast down in each cylinder, guys. That'll help slick everything up in there, and when we go to crank her for the first time, hopefully it just helps it be a little smoother, guys. Definitely had a little more spider action on this side. Number 2, 4. Shocker, the one that's toasted fell right apart. That thing's cooked more than Freddy Krueger's face. Oh, all right. Well, that's kind of concerning. Do we pull it out or we leave it alone? This one that was absolutely cooked, she ain't budging free. 2 is all right. 4's pretty fouled. 6 is stuck. 8 is burning clean. Why was that one stuck so bad, guys? I think she moved a hair. It's making me nervous. Let's swap to Big Mama. Get a little more leverage. Gow. Well, I don't know about that, guys. I don't know what else to do, though. I'll try easing her forward again. Turn forward went decent. Spray it down with Looby and try to work her back out a little. Maybe we'll be able to work a little bit of that down in there or something. I don't know if we're cross-threaded. I don't know if we're just dealing with corrosion. I just know it shouldn't be that hard to back out a spark plug. Whew. Back and forth we go. It's gonna make me break a sweat. Now see that? That feels all right. Going back. I've backed her out. I lubed her down again, guys, and right now I'm gonna make a decision based on my educated guess. On our driver's side, 1 and 3 were the nasty ones. 5 and 7 were the cleanest ones, I do believe. And on that side, 2 and 4 are dirty, but then number 8 was clean. So we're just gonna assume number 6 is gonna be clean enough, because I think I'm working that in the threads. And I think if we had an hour or 2 to work it with some heat and stuff, we can probably get it out of there. But if we force it out right now, it may trash everything. I don't have heat So I just backed it out. I sprayed it down. We'll let it sit. And let's clean up these other plugs. And I've got new spark plugs right here. All you really need is a good quality brush. Brush it. Nice little spritzing. She's practically new. It's always good when you blast those and you can see the oil and just carbon and everything come up out of there. To be fair, those are cleaning up pretty nice. Even those ones that were the ones that were really dirty. Now she might be a twofer. We may have to do 2 rounds on it, but we'll get her clean enough, guys. I almost forgot to spray lube in that other side where it could be soaking. All of these is cleaned up really easy, except for the very first one we pulled out. She has the most stuff kind of like baked, crusted on here. But a little work with the pick tool, the wire brush, we'll get her cleaned up here, guys. I brought a gapping tool, and I'm glad I did, because checking this one, guys, that's up at 45 thousandths. Yeah, 44. Factory ignition with points. We definitely don't need no 44 thousandths. I mean, I know that looks like a high performance coil right there, but damn. Generally speaking, on like something like this, I think we're probably gonna be around 32, maybe up to 35 thousandths. And if you're 40 plus, you better have like electronic ignition, HEI, something with a little more oomph to it. So I'm gonna close that up and take her to about 32. Shoo! There's another one right there, 43. I think that sucker right there is cracked. There's the line right there. And I thought it was part of the thread at first, but it is not, because it comes up and over the top. Y'all can't, but I can see that crack right there. Well, dang it. Is that one cracked too? It may not be cracked. Okay. That may be a manufacturer line then, because this one has the same lines. That makes me feel better. I didn't want that bouncing off down in there. Shoot. Nah, we're good. She's solid. The worst thing that happens is that breaks off and goes through the motor. Plays patty cake with pistons and valves. Nothing to worry about. Make sure she's at 33, 32, 33, and just forget I said anything. She's fine. Got all them done. I think 2 of them was between 32 and 35 thousandths, and then the rest were all just too damn big. All right, I think we're ready to throw a battery in her. Well, that works out good. We definitely needed a battery with the ground on that side, not this side. We could swap cables, but then we could run the risk of messing them up. And I don't have any, so we'll just set it in there crooked and pretend it's gonna be okay. And I knew we'd get our money's worth out of this brush. We'll use her and get her cleaned up. Those did clean up quite nice. Oh yeah, she ain't all worn out. I can actually twist it on there and get a good bite. We like that. Oh, she's coming alive, guys, because that key's on. Oh, it's got windshield wipers. She's ready to drive in the rain. Does she have a horn? Dang it. That's all I really wanted. Key's on. I see a light here, so we are powering something up. We are not kicking in our starter. We don't need that anyhow. We've got no blinkers. We've got running lights, just no headlights. At least those look cool. Well, we'll worry more about that kind of stuff in a little bit. I forgot I brought the borescope where we could maybe glance down inside there if we had wanted. Let's take a little helper there and put one side on the battery cable, other to the solenoid. Let's see what happens. She's cranking for having a fresh battery. She don't sound like she's cranking the happiest. That don't make me feel better about here with how it's kind of, but cranking's cranking, and we'll take it. Uh-oh, we may have messed up, because a minute ago I pulled that back, and I think I took her to lock position. And I'm not seeing a key hit anywhere in here. Dang it, dummy. That was smart. At least before, we could have kept pulling the battery cable and keep it from killing it, but we wouldn't have had a lock column and the ignition would have been on. Oh, dang. Hold on, does this thing actually have an ignition box? I just assumed she's gonna be points. Let's pop this sucker open. I just don't know what that is. It does have electronic ignition of sorts. That would explain the bigger gaps. No, all right, I didn't think so. There's damn points right there. So that must be, you know, who knows? We don't care. As long as they don't matter with their ignition, we don't care. Shoot, that looks all right in there. A little bit of corrosion, nothing bad. Let's disconnect our coil there. I don't see any type of resistor, so we're gonna just try to run 12 volts straight to this sucker, I guess. Someone had to shut the damn key off. We could have just tested to see if there's 12 volts there or not. The secret to good wiring ain't having good tools, guys. I just use needle nose pliers. It's having cheap enough wire that you can strip it with anything. That's the secret. So for now, I'll twist that one over there, and then we'll twist that to there. Then we can use that right there. That way she's quick release. When I hooked that up, I heard a click. So she must be close to firing. Set our coil wire right there. Gonna crank it and see if we've got spark. Woo, y'all see that? Good spark. Oh yeah, she'll light you up. Man, y'all see the front of that motor? It's covered in oil like it been at one of them Diddy parties. Can y'all see those points? More specific right there at the contacts. It don't look good, guys. Now, it ain't like fizzed up with corrosion like some of that crap will do, but they look old and crappy. However, they're functioning just fine. So if it ain't broke, we ain't gonna fix it. We're gonna leave it alone. What I will do, since I'm here and I can see some corrosion on our rotor here, I'll go ahead and give it a quick little badanga right there. And then out here, where it distributes it to our cap, we'll just give her a quick little cleanup. And then inside our cap, those lugs are pretty corroded actually. A little more on there than I seen at first. So we'll clean them up as well. Now this brush, because that tip's plumb worn off, is not the greatest tool for this. Let's go to my old bag of tricks here. See if we can go something a little higher end. We can use our flathead and scrape on it if we need to. It looks like we need to. Oh no, there she is. That's what I was looking for. Beauty board, baby. Get these things in a big old pack off Amazon or something. And then any vehicle you have with points, just put you one in the glove box. And then you always got a cleaning tool with you. Looky there. Perfect way to get them just kind of cleaned up a little bit. Great for cleaning your points as well. They probably even work good for cleaning fingernails and stuff up. I really like mine to look nice. That's what they're for. I've never used one for that though. And you might be thinking, hey Puddin', how much are you really doing here? Well, let me show you. The end of that was perfectly clean when we started. And I've managed to dirty up both sides of it just cleaning these. In fact, we'll even give that a quick brushing since we're here. And because I'm going all out on this one, she's even gonna get an aerosol rebuild. Oh, what the heck, girl, you deserve it. Let's live a little. Put our plugs back in the passenger side, so this could have time to dry up. Get it back in its sweet spot. Forget to put your coil wire back on. Get all of our plugs started on this side. They all go so good. It's really a shame that one's messed up over there, guys. Snug-a-lug, snug-a-lug. We'll get these all snugged down. Yep. All right. 1, 8, 4, 3, 5, and then number 7 should be broke. Uh-oh. Number 8, there she went. She went on. 6 is bad. 4 ain't much better. I got a boot repair kit right here. Oh yeah, that'll be good for many years to come. 4. I can't tell if number 4 is actually clicking on or not. So these two for sure need some loving, guys. But we are in a junkyard. I don't know how much they crushed out that way, but there was a lot last week, so I'm gonna head that way and maybe we'll find something. Surely over in here we can find something, can't we? Ooh, I don't know, a lot of them are pancakes. What about underneath here? Anything? Ooh, I see a couple. Yeah, of course, she's the HEI style. What about next door? All right, all right, all right. What about right here? That one came off. That one came off. I might want to get a couple longer ones if possible. I want a bunch of shorties. Surprisingly, these aren't all super hard. They got a little rubber left in them. Well, that one's about perfect length of that one there. All right, got us a few to choose from here, guys. Y'all know what I say. It'll work or it won't. All right, this one here's a little longer. We'll take it. I'll throw on number 6. Boy, better swap that one with the one I'd put on number 7. I think this one was a little longer, so it should reach better. Click, looky there. Little room to spare, guys. And we're gonna put that one on number 7. Run her right over here. We have plug wires again. And got them routed fancy. Y'all see all the dust on that carburetor? Whoo, she ain't locked up. I hadn't tried that yet. She's cranking. She should have spark. We need to get a little fuel down her, guys, see if she wants to stumble for us. And y'all know I brought some Get Her Done 91. Only the finest premium fuel for this rig. Nope, no it's not. It's actually a big old jug of Cinder to Heaven 87 is what it is. You want to make sure to overflow that where it just gets all over you, where you smell like gas the rest of the day. We should be able to go right in there and hopefully fill that bowl up. Try not to get too much over the top, or if she backfires, she don't catch on fire. We've got a bunch of little nests and debris and grass left in here that would just love to burn. Now, before we try to bust that off, I'm cutting that fuel line right there, because we have no clue the condition of the fuel in this tank. In my personal experience with like every vehicle ever, it's always terrible. I think out of say 20 cars, I'll have one good tank. The rest is just nasty. Fuel pumps, however, they like to work about 50-50. So if there's any old crap in there, we fire that up and that fuel pump is working, it can start to pump that old crap into our carburetor real quick, which we really don't want. So we elect to cut it and get her running off the bottle. Let's put a little fuel straight in her. Coil's hot. Going live. Woo! She's gonna try to fire for us, it sounds like. Looks like that choke being closed may not be our friend. Let's kind of prop that open there. Come on, baby. Come on. She's wanting to. Come on. You got this, old girl. Hey, y'all see what I mean about that fuel pump working? The thing is, that stuff coming out didn't look terrifying, but it most certainly is coming out there. Whew. Guys, I don't know if she's gonna stay running, but she did kind of stumble enough to pump up some fuel, and right now we're gonna have to take that as a victory. I don't even know where you put gas in this thing. Back here? Whew. How sweet is that? We like that. We also like the fact that it looks like I could possibly bore scope down in there. And I brought that bore scope for the motor, but we're gonna use it for the gas tank. Oh, she's definitely got fuel in her. And there's some corrosion on the bottom. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but it ain't super heavy. This thing's about 100 times cleaner than I thought it was gonna look. Holy cow. She may have a good tank. Yes! I was past due to have a victory there on the gas tank. However, I do not see a drain plug back there. Oh, there's a drain plug, all right. Look right there, some type of rubber washer with a self-tapper in it. Other than that,
we're obviously going to leak there. We could probably get another rubber washer from the parts house, but then you run the chance of that screw not tightening up and that becoming a bigger problem. Also, we could probably drop the straps if we could get this debris off here. Kind of same thing though, being out here in the field, we run the risk of messing that up. Ooh, fancy coilovers. She'll friggin' haul a load, especially with them little helpers bolted on there. You'll see that? See it towing machine. Oh yeah, baby. Hardware is in there. That's a good find right there, guys. Thank goodness. We drop this thing down, then we break lines or filler hoses, and we can't. I think what we need to do is try to get her running again, and let's feed some of this old gas into a water bottle, and then we'll try to get it running off a little bit of the old gas and see if the old gas will still run it or not. If it does just fine, then obviously adding some more to this is just going to help it get better, right? Right. So we'll feed that into a bottle. Let's fire her up. Woo! I don't know if y'all hear that, but that thing's getting crunchier and crunchier every time we spin it, and it's sounding either like the starter or the motor. Neither one I'm excited about. Boy, that's really soft, whatever that is. Silk spider, I don't know. Anyhow, just cranking on it pumped us enough fuel. I mean, you can definitely tell she's old gas, that's for certain. Come on, baby. Well, she actually busted alive pretty decent that time. As you can hear by all the valve train noise, she ain't had oil ran through her in a good while. Obviously, the more we get that to run, the more that, in theory, should pick up more oil, and it should just start running better. What's good is we got us a bottle of this yellow pea here, so now we can swap our caps, and let's see if we can get it bust off again off this stuff. If you're looking like that, you're all right. If you're looking like that, you better start drinking more water. Time to up the hydration levels. Off the old stuff. Well, that's a new problem. I was about to try to get her running off the old stuff. Connections aren't the greatest, but they don't feel hot. I may want to clean up on that, but maybe our solenoid's gone bad on us. Spark that, hold that down, spark that across there just to make sure this ain't messing up. So we're assuming it's going to be that solenoid. Let's see if we can't weld our needle nose together. Woo! Hoo-hoo-hoo! Uh-oh. Starter shorted. Because if we go across that, we should be getting cranking. Oh, hold on. At one point she said room. Oh man, I was about to say fixed it. Oh, hold on. Hell, I may have. Nope, did not. Y'all see that? Just glowed the tip of those, burnt the one end right off. That starter's not happy. So the question is the starter messing up? Could be, and if so, we'll take that. But it also could be something tight, which I don't think it would be, like in the motor. But there's a possibility of like mouse house up around the flex plate, and that stuff can get in there and bind up sometimes. So I think we've got to get back underneath this thing and see what's going on. Get our front lifted back up. I think it's time to knock down lunch here. Oh yeah, this peanut butter crackers got me feeling sassy, I guess. Guys, I don't think I explained why I think it's so cool to be here doing this right now. I'll try to keep it short and simple. Around 2014, I watched an episode of Roadkill. It was when they were probably around like first 10, real early. If you don't know who Roadkill is, they were on YouTube back then, way early back in the day, and they were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And I think it's safe to say Roadkill inspired so many car people, especially if they were interested in doing it in front of a camera. Well, long story short, in that episode, they got a car running at this very salvage yard. They drove it down to Houston, I believe, doing a revive and drive back then, and then they like drag raced it down there. And I literally remember watching that video when I was in the Air Force and thinking, how cool would it be if that was your job? Well, fast forward over a decade later, guys, and I'm getting to do what could quite possibly be the very last reviving drive out of the exact same junkyard that I watched those gentlemen do it out of, who inspired me that long ago. And that's why I really jumped on the opportunity to be able to do this one here. Those guys have inspired so many people, and I mean, reviving drive's huge now, of course, but it's so cool to be able to pay homage to the one that caught my attention, one of their very first episodes I ever seen, that truly inspired me to go, one day I'm getting in front of that camera. Yeah, see our starter. She's nice and oily, which, holy cow, is that all dry? No, that's wet for no more than she's been cranking. That ain't a good sign. We're just gonna assume that's valve cover gaskets, maybe. And right here at our bell housing, I can see inside there a little bit, and I do not see any mouse house in there. In fact, that's loose, so y'all can see a little bit in there too. I think we're gonna have to drop our starter. And like I just guessed, valve cover gaskets, as she ain't even got enough oil up top to quiet down valve train yet. That makes sense. Good guess. Drop that. Maybe that oil came from all that crap I spilled and it just worked its way down somehow. That's a possibility. And the best outcome. I feel like dang Mortsky Repair pulling starters. I usually have the good luck on the starter, and then the bad luck on the carburetor. So hopefully we don't have bad luck on the carburetor. Here she comes. She looks to be in really good shape. Just a little oil soaked. I think that's good for the internals. Well, I wish I had a good way to test this, but I really don't. Considering it was working though, and then got real crunchy sounding, and I said it sounded like starter may not be doing so well, and then it just tried, but then was shorting out. I think it's a pretty safe bet, guys. Well, crap the bed, Fred. I did bring some stuff though, I told you that. I'll have to go get it, or ordered some stuff in, I mean. Starter, I think a carb kit. Guess I gotta go get us a starter. Well, here she is. Looks fairly similar-ish. I bet that eyelet's gonna be too dang small for that. I have a drill and a stepper bit, so we may have to get creative. Other than that, yes, she looks pretty similar. Whew. Guys, you never know with oddball stuff. Sometimes it's a 50-50 roll of the dice if I even order the right crap. Ooh, she actually fits. Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't fit that. What kind of communist put a metric nut on a damn starter for an AMC? We can at least get these tightened up while we're down here. There we go, at least get them snugged. Got our cable tightened back up. Hook her battery up. Come on, baby. Oh, there she goes. She's really cranking now. That's what we like to hear. She just ain't quite wanting to run on that stuff, is she? She thinks about it. Now I can't get her to run on any of it. Oh, dummy. Y'all think it'll run better with the coil wire hooked up? She's running, guys. Go, baby. Don't stop. Don't stop. That was old stuff, so I don't know if there's still good stuff in there. No, she dang sure just busted off on that old crap. got no clue where it got that much fuel. I thought when I'd quit feeding that, it would quit running, and instead it was running on a hope and a prayer, obviously. Overfilled our bottle, so as I pulled that out, it just sprayed gas everywhere. Don't worry about that. The good news is it's running off the old stuff. Inside the tank to me looks pretty clean enough to run. So what I'm thinking is we add a new fuel filter in there. We want to put a see-through one where we can see how much crap we are picking up. But let's put a new fuel filter on it. We'll put some fresh fuel in the gas tank with it, and maybe that'll get our fuel system going. Good thing I got a drain pan. It did bring us a few feet of hose, fuel filter, or two maybe. I brought some electric chuggy chugs, but it don't look like we're gonna need them. Goodness, as bad as that crap stinks, I can't believe it's burning. What's that mean? Does that mean it's good old stuff that was left in here over the years? I asked the guys if they knew any story on it. He said he got it from a friend, and that friend had got it from a grandma's backyard. They think they've had it close to a decade, and like me, just assume it'd been parked in that lady's backyard since it was last tagged and everything. So anyhow, still can't believe that crap's burning. Luckily our filters came with these cheapo depot clamps, worm clamp, because I was gonna reuse these spring-loaded ones, but they're for a 5/16, and all we have is 3/8, so it is now gonna be 3/8. Just don't get too crazy with your worm clamps. Depending on which ones you get, they may be the best or they may be the worst. Make sure to get her facing the right way, and she'll clamp right in. We would have been smarter to bring 5/16 instead of 3/8 apparently. It's alright, most of the time 3/8 can be 5/16. But 5/16 can't be 3/8. Let's fill up our booty with some fresh petrol. Guys, I have seen a few trucks and trailers throughout here today. People rescuing some, so that's a good thing. We're gonna give it most of this. I'm gonna save us a little bit to be able to run it off bottle if need be. I think we got fuel to her. There in our filter. Water pump's turning, alternator's not, fan's humming. I sure am hoping this motor quits chattering so much. I don't see any oil flowing, so that's a good thing. I bet what I seen on the side of the engine was what I'd spilt, but she really ain't quieted down yet. I was kind of hoping she would, so that ain't a great thing. Let's kill her. She got a vacuum leak somewhere? Is that what I'm hearing? Well, she's running pretty good as far as carburetor goes. I told y'all that's my favorite carburetor because they just simply work. Even if you got to rebuild it, super easy to rebuild, and they just work. I wonder where all of our fuel went. It went from it was pumping so much to where's she at? Maybe our fuel pump laid down on us. We could dip the oil to see if there's fuel in there. Maybe the diaphragm's bad or something, but we ain't got a dipstick. I think I found us a dipstick right here. I just need something I can get to touch oil down there and come back out. This ain't the most solid stick, so we want to be careful with her. We'll break her off in there. We got some oil. I don't smell any fuel. Just smells like oil. That's a good sign. Before we run her anymore, I'd like to look at our alternator situation since it's flopping. Oh, that's perfect. Everything's there. It appears our bracket's broke. And I don't know if there's a hole in there, but that dang sure don't line up with that slot. That don't scare me too bad, because if I had some tie wire, I could probably wrap it around that nub and pull it out that way. Tight enough to turn it anyhow, because I'm sure it's just fine. We've got options there. What we don't have options is to not run any type of water or coolant in our radiator. So I brought nothing for that. I'm gonna have to see if these guys just got a spigot I can borrow some from. I filled up 3 water bottles worth of gas, put the rest in the car. Good thing about being over here is I've pretty well been left alone all day. Bad thing about being over here is, well, I'm pretty well close to not a damn thing. Let's go get some water. am a jogging machine. Just need water. This walk ain't gonna be near as enjoyable with this loaded down with water, but we'll get her did. Woo! I see her. I see her. Good for you. Keep you young. If I can't get this running and driving, at least I run home. Hell. Golly, can't kick my leg high enough. Should have done this earlier in the day to see if we had any leaks. Yeah, I see one coming right out the bottom. Hopefully that's just a petcock. Oh, it is. It's a missing one. But that, sure enough, is that a crack? It's gotta be. Golly. Boy, we're gonna be stuck in the water now. I'm gonna start pulling our shroud so we can get this radiator out. Parts house, I don't even think they can get one of these even if we need them to. I don't have enough cell phone service to even be able to look it up. I did have enough to call my parts house back home and they're gonna research it for me. A bunch of mismatched hardware's always a fun time. Try not to tear anything up here. Try to use our scribe to break our seal, but not break our hose. Whew, you'd think I'd be upset, but honestly that cool water felt pretty nice splashing me. I can see the crack right there, little booger. Nothing to be worried about here. I'm sure this will twist right off. Woo! Not too shabby. Let's go back to rubber hoses that are shabby, or that one does. Well, she's certainly easy enough to get out. There's our crack right in there, I do believe. Well, that sucker runs all the way up. She's cracked all the way up into here, and all the way down. And then right there, multi-fracture, that whole thing. So I don't know if someone torqued that fitting too tight or what the deal was. That right there was basically about the last thing we wanted to happen. Crack stops about right there, and she just wraps that entire thing. Hopefully y'all can see it better now. Shoe doggy. Well, I called the gentleman up at the office. I said, y'all don't happen to have anything I could solder with, do you? He said, no, we don't. I said, well, all right, I was just curious. This radiator had a crack in it. He said, well, I've got a trailer full of radiators. We can maybe look and see if there's something that could work for you. So another walk of shame. Let's go have a look. It's a long walk on the forearms, guys. Grabbing it like that. Anyhow, I guess in here's maybe a bunch of radiators. Got caught up in here, and this one was right behind there. He said, looky there, that one looks kind of close, don't it, Thin? Guys, it's an automatic. Outlets are pretty well same orientation. This one looks a hair wider. Hey, she has a petcock. That's a plus. Dang, guys, this thing looks pretty stinking close. I think we can at least try that one, and it's automatic, which is nice. Already got the cooler in it. We may have found what we needed already. However, since we're here, it don't hurt to look. These are all some big old-timey looking ones. And none have the little mountain flange like what ours had. Here's another one. You can tell she's an old one with that big old top tank on it. That one, the outputs are on the wrong side. Input and output. Input's on the wrong side. Use Chrysler. Here's another one that's fairly similar. I like that one's wider. Yes. Let's see, guys. We may get lucky right here. I'm gonna strip this one down before we actually put it in the car. Easier to do it right here. Here we go. Easy does it. That's perfect width to at least fit between those. If that was any wider, it couldn't fit between these mounts. Holy cow. And it looks like if we had some longer 5/8 bolts with some spacers, she may work. I don't think that'll work. Ain't gonna be long enough, but it'll give me an idea of where I need to be. Oh, that caught. That caught. This is insane, guys. That's the same bolt pattern, same width, same bolt pattern. Woo, that's close. Pry that forward a little bit. She bit. Yes, sir. Woo! I love how I'm celebrating like we're in the clear. That just means the top two bolts went in. Whatever this is from a 1965 and a V8. There's a part number if anyone can decipher that. Guys, look right there. Look right there. AMC. Sometimes, kind of like our drain pan, guys, you're better to be lucky than to be good. It's a damn good thing we're doing this at the salvage yard. If we were not, we would be in bad shape right now. Popped our lower hose on. Let's see if this one leaks. She leaks out the top when the upper hose ain't on. However, so far, I don't see anything coming out of it, guys. Man, we may have just dodged a major bullet, and this will obviously still need some love, but it may be enough to get us home. Next scary part's gonna be trying to swap these, not tear nothing up. Those don't even really look to have sealant on them or nothing. This one had a crimped line on it. That's cut now. Check that out, guys. I don't think we could get any damn luckier. I'm gonna go buy a lottery ticket tonight. I'm not gonna push my luck on this. I'm gonna take her about right there and that's it. Oh gosh. Don't mind the water steadily pouring. It must be coming from the water pump. Yeah, I can see it behind the pulley. Just anything to keep a good guy down. Even though the spots were in a different place, I was able to manipulate them to hook right back up, guys. That radiator being in that trailer is truly a beautiful thing. The good news is this water pump looks like an absolute blast to change. Dang, there's 2 tension bolts on the back of this sucker. AMC did not want the power steering pump coming loose. A gentleman named Dalton from Pole Barn Garage inspired me to bring one of these. If you've got a bad carburetor, blame it on me. You got a bad starter, blame it on Mortsky. You got a bad water pump, it's definitely Dalton's damn fault. Looks fairly close. I'm definitely getting to learn more about AMC engines than I was hoping to have to learn this go around. That's per rolling the dice though, folks. I think this thing was having some overheating issues, guys. You'll see how nasty it is in there. Don't look like there's a thermostat in there. Looks like she had air conditioning on her at one point, but now the condenser's removed. And then with that shroud being boogered with and stuff, I'm curious if this thing wasn't having overheating issues at one point in its life. That's a good confidence booster. Boy, that hose is in really bad shape. Trying to rot right there in my hands, or crumble I mean, because it's half rotten. But she won't come off there. There she goes. Clean and remove a bunch of hardware. That's all that's left. What the hell? Looks like there's a little bolt or guide pin in there. If I get that out, maybe I can drop this without having to pull that whole assembly.
You're puddins.fab.shop. Are
Yeah.
you doing a video right now? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good, man.
You're running over here to look at the Suburban.
Oh.
I watch your YouTube all the time.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, just try and get this one going, get it running. It's fighting me every step of the way. Well, hell, now I'm thinking it might be easier to take the whole thing off. I can't tell what we need. A few young kids out here looking for some parts for their projects. One said he watches the channel. That's pretty cool. Said I was the only channel his dad will watch without yelling at the TV. I usually hear opposite. I'm having terrible luck getting any of this apart. That bolt will just spin in place, but she won't back out anymore. I'm trying to pry it out, but it ain't give yet. I don't know what the deal is there. As easy as that spins, you'd think I'd be able to tap it out of there. But nope, not yet. Oh, she moved a little then. Trying to be careful here. We don't want to send a pry bar through our radiator. Whew. A little more prying, and I got her. That thing was just plumb full of rust. That's what's got her in there. So at least get that set off to the side. We're pretty dang close to the time they told me they were going to close down. If they'd let me stay here, of course I'd stay here and work, but I don't think they're going to. What I probably should do is go ahead and pull off the wheels and tires, where I can maybe take them with me to get tires done. At least make some progress. She spin? Hey, at least she spins. Ain't locked up. Everything else may be going wrong, but let's look at the bright side. Woo! I don't want to get bit by that one. That's a black widow. Boy, I don't know where that thing just went and hit at neither. That ain't what we want biting our finger. Oh gosh. Well, that's kind of what I was expecting to find there. I knew we weren't going to have no damn luck with brakes. I was hoping we could soak these overnight, but that sucker's so far gone. Whew. Another one. She ain't locked up neither. Well, all the drums spin, that's a plus. It's parked near 5 o'clock. They said they need me out of here by then. So I gathered up my tools, kind of took the jack and stuff back here. I think it'll all be safe. I was hoping to have this thing kind of turnkey running by the end of day one, and we're not there. I brought a boat tank because I thought we were gonna need it. I brought my brake tools. I just bring a tire inflator and a jump pack on every trip, period. So that wasn't really for the revival. And then I caught this tire shop right at the right time. They're gonna close, but they said they could get me taken care of. Afford it Sanger. Got new and used tires. You know, I got them classic tore nails off the eBay, like 220 bucks shipped. Get my last one here, guys. I got to do a parts run to the parts house, get a few things. I made me a list throughout the day, and then other than that, we'll be back on her in the morning to continue the fight. Morning. We're going to continue with our power steering here. I'm going to spray down that nut. I assume that's still press fit, but I don't know. I just went ahead and pulled our radiator out, which is good because apparently I'd lost a wrench. But that way we don't damage it and give us more room here. Now that retains it, but can we get it off there? She moved. Yes. When we looked out, okay, that's just keyed. I assumed that it was going to be press fit on there as well. Hallelujah, it wasn't. Hey, we should have done that yesterday, huh? Unfortunately, I ain't got a 7/16 we can put on that big old impact. So the rest of these we get to do by hand. Woo! Woo-hoo! Yum, 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 yum. Damn you, pole barn garage. Look at all that, guys. Ah. None of our bolts are stripped or broke. Is that aluminum? Boy, with that, if that's aluminum, we got lucky there. Told you I was going to the O'Reilly, so I got 2 more boxes of helpful rebuild. Knowing we were getting into the water pump, I decided I may want to pick us up one of these. A little super scraper. Your new pump on with gasket. Water pump come with some spacers. Now it says for 70 up and newer, but but these two bottom bolts wouldn't tighten up without putting them spacers on there. We'll take it. Since this is going so good, when I was at the parts house, I picked us up a cheap gauge set. Looks like we can put temperature gauge in right there, and then the oil right here. So let's do that real quick. Easy access. Real simple stuff, guys, to hook one of those up, especially when you're just running it to the fender well. That one wouldn't tighten up because that's supposed to go there, dummy. So here's the deal. I have a fuel pump. Right now, this fuel pump's really easy to get to. Let's just do it since we're here. We didn't want to get this deep, but since we are this deep, just pumped on that, got a mixture of oil and gas out of it, so we may be doing some good here too. Just gotta make sure to get that on the lobe up in there. Yeah, fuel pump should be good to go. Alright, now I'm just trying to zip all this back together as fast as possible, guys. Y'all know what all we're working with up here now. I don't know why I'm trying to put that back together backwards though. Gotta keep you on your toes. You did have to swap a couple bolts around. I had a couple things backwards. Don't worry about that. She's fairly tight, but without a lot of support, I doubt that'll last long. If only we had something we could wedge in there. Oh, that's solid now. That ain't going nowhere. Down here on our transcooler lines, as I was tightening them up, I noticed back there where these rubber lines were, there were some drips coming. And this might be the shadiest thing we've found so far. This thing's just cracked all over. I undid the clamps at the back and then pulled the metal lines, and the metal lines came right out the front, and I never even loosened them. After I'd seen them yesterday, I got some of this stuff here. Is that fuel line? I got some of this stuff here. Transmission oil cooler hose. Good thing I did. That right there should serve us a little better. Maybe not leak after hitting one bump. Beautiful, guys. Even the holes for the shroud lines up with this AMC radiator. Cut our drain hose here. And I'm gonna put it between this tank and our core support. Then we'll tighten down our new setup. Got us a couple longer bolts. Got some 3/8 nuts of spacers, and that pinches that down and makes it really secure. Oh yeah, baby. Can't ask for better than that. Put our gauge in, mount the coil, hoses back on, topped her off, got our battery. Let's see if we can get this old gal running again. Woo! All right. She's flowing. She's dying, but she's flowing. Boy, she busted right off at first, but that ain't a good sign. Don't look like we've picked up any fuel. Oh, there goes a little. We're getting fuel back, and she's reading really good oil pressure at idle, which is a surprise, but is also a really good thing. Hopefully that means it'll continue to build pressure and work its way up to the top. I was kind of scared that with how that sounded, that it was gonna just not have oil pressure. Guys, this thing is idling like a champ. Just need that valve train to quiet down. I don't see any leaks. Oh, take that back. Why are we leaking back there now? We just can't catch a damn brake on this thing, can we? Nope. No, we cannot. What you smoking so much for, huh? Really? A freeze plug? Can't just can't have a win with the cooling system, can I? But we may have really messed up my lack of experience there. One edge was hanging down, So I was trying to get it with the pry bar. I just don't have the best hammering tools and stuff, so got a couple taps, get frustrated. Put a flathead right in the middle of it to hit it hard, hoping I would drive a hole through it where I could pry it, and it looked like to me the whole thing popped back. I don't know if you can push those in there and get them stuck, but I think I'm well on the way. For now, we better let her finish draining out. Little good news, I'd knocked it and it kind of turned. I was able to grab it and pull it out of there. Went to the parts house. They have this one. Now this is supposed to be 1.5 inches. I would say this one's closer to like 1 9/16 inches. It just looks a little bigger, but hopefully we can smack on it and get it in there. If not, I did get one of the rubber ones that will get us home, or at least get us running for now. That's what you want to see coming out of your motor. Oh yeah, make sure it falls right down into where your dipstick's supposed to be too. That's good for it. It's good stuff. Bang it. We'll clean her up the best we can. Put a little hooky puck on her new one. Oh, I actually got her started a little. Can't hardly swing, but I'm trying my best. Keep swinging, baby, keep swinging. I swung and swung until I knocked that skin off that thumb. Now we're gonna try the rubber one. Just can't get a good shot at it, guys. Yeah. Filled our coolant back up. I don't see no leaks. We're gonna take that as a victory for now. A gentleman up at the desk had a dipstick tube for something. I was hoping we'd maybe get lucky and she'd fit this. No luck. I was able to see, looks like our dipstick tubes broke off in there, so we'll have to get out the old piece before we can add anything new. I packed lunch for 2 days in a row. Up next, we're gonna just try some heat cycles and hope these lifters end up picking up or whatever. I might add a little trans fluid down in this oil to help with that. Help clean a little bit of what's in there. Finally, I'm not seeing any leaks. You can put a screwdriver to your ear and push it against stuff, and you can hear in there. She's still noisy, don't get me wrong. I feel like she's quieted down just a hair. And it almost sounds like we got exhaust leak going on too. Tic-tac-toe ain't no fun when you ain't got no one to play with. I just keep being hopeful it's gonna quiet down. It just don't. Maybe it's a secret blessing we had to get in here. Did I check all these bolts when I knew those ones were loose over there? No, I did not. And these ones over here hold on our shifter, and they were backed way out as well. With our shifter connected, let's get our drive shaft in. Probably want to clean that up. Any glasses or safety glasses if you're desperate. Be good to me, Seal. Be good to me. Whew, she's going in. She ain't necessarily liking it. Not sure why. Croyle to the rescue. There she went. There she went. Only a little bit of rat's nest underneath here. That's nice. Very happy these are in here. That's that. How am I doing? Well, I'm doing great. Living the American dream right here, baby. AMC's, junkyards, bleeding fingers. What else could you ask for? I've crawled all over this thing hoping to find a key. And it just ain't gonna happen. We can't turn our wheel. We can't pull the shifter. And this is all my fault. And that most certainly did not help. And I don't know much about unlocking these. I was kind of just hoping we could tear up enough stuff I could finally move something in there. I can already tell that ain't gonna work. Yeah, that's just breaking my stepper bit in there. I'm sure finding column parts for these are super easy. Been beating it with a hammer, just breaking what I can as I can. That stuff started to drill, just can't drill very well because the tip's missing off this now. Sure, running a self-tapper into it's exactly what it needs. I ain't giving up hope. I'm sorry, old girl. I'm sorry. Well, at least we can pass that lock. Just not that one. I need to be able to spin that thing. I've wasted close to an hour. I've beat that thing unrecognizable. Still can't freaking get it. I think even the piece I'm supposed to turn in one big hit, I think I broke through everything. And I know we ain't gonna be able to pull this off without a puller. I figure we at least get her soaking. We can hot wire it. I just need to make sure this lock don't lock when I'm driving and that we can shift the dang thing. That's all I really care about. We'll take this girl through another heat cycle real quick. Go! Hey-o! Well, the camera just fell out of battery because I was in a hurry to pull the coil wire off to kill that, because as I revved that up, the car tried to move. As you can see, the car is no longer behind me where it was. Well, that's because the car is now over here. I reached in here and I pulled that off, and that did not kill it. That's our hot wire. So apparently that ignition in there, something's turned enough where that was on. So we were still powering over 12 volts. So it did not die. And obviously that thing reversed itself straight off the jack stands. You wanna know the bad part? The heartbreaking part. I don't care about that. It started rolling. I just ran over here and grabbed the positive or ground, whichever. I popped it up off there. I had this leaned against that door to hold it open to let me have a braze in there. So as that just backed up, it just boogered up our door. Look at that. Gosh darn it. That's the last thing we wanted. I give a damn about the mechanicals. I don't want to be tearing up the body, and she's tore up now. Extended those hinges some. Of course, we can fix anything, I guess, but we didn't want to have to fix that. Gosh darn it. That right there is like the worst thing that could have just happened. Oh, man. And just so y'all know, it still shows it's in park. But apparently it's right there, which is reverse. It's probably been in reverse the whole time. We just were unaware because there wasn't a drive shaft in it. That may have something to do with our loose shifter linkage down there, and maybe why it looks like it's in park up here. And then we tighten that up. I don't know. Either way, I'm super bummed out about this door. We messed up our door. It's dented, it don't close. We ain't got a key. We can't even run it anymore because come to find out, she's stuck in reverse. Motor's still chattering. And oh yeah, we ain't touched brakes yet. You could say things are going swell. Well, there's nothing we can do about that crappy stuff that's happened. But we can keep carrying on with our brakes. Quite surprisingly, these lines look awful, but they're not fighting me too bad. Now guys, there's no pedal and no fluid. We pretty well just gotta hope we have the correct brake parts and go for a whole brake system here. I don't mind leaving a spark plug or use wires, not touching the carburetor, but brakes, we're not trying to put no one in danger here. This thing's like one of them Teslas. She's a self-driving car. Can't believe that stuff's that rusty. And then I'm able to thread it off there by finger. Rear still had a little fluid, and they're so crusty. if she would have worked, she wouldn't have worked for long. Fingers crossed this is her. Now, obviously, I ain't really got a great way to bench bleed her. Both lines start, so that's a plus. With those tight, we're gonna leave our 2 lines loose. And for now, I'm gonna go ahead and put some fluid in there and just hope that it'll gravity bleed through that master cylinder, and maybe that'll help a little. I think it's close to 4 o'clock, guys. And again, they're gonna want me out of here by 5. And since we're on the brakes, I think I'm gonna probably pull the drive shaft back out of this thing and see if they'll just sit it outside their gate in a parking lot, and then I can stay late tonight and work on all the brakes. I think she's trying to tell me she don't like me no more or something, because even that drive shaft wouldn't come out without a fight. I had to pry it out of there. You'd think it'd been in there for 40 years or something. And of course that cap fell off and dropped every single needle out of there. I think I found them all, but we won't know until we try to put that back together later. On the bright side, that door that used to sag and drop is now the really good closing door compared to this side. Well, they picked her up with the forklift and moved her out front because they close in about 15 minutes. I'm gonna start tearing into these drums though. Get in here and back off our adjusters. We're gonna cheat and use a little heat. The drum spins. I'm just assuming it's rusted to this hub. There's 3 little screws that should be in there, but they're out, so that's not holding it. Found our first little bit of rot. That's the only thing I've seen on this thing so far. There she went. Oh yeah, that's what had it. About 2 heat cycles is all she wanted before she let go. That's good. There we go. Come on, old gal. Wow. Well, impressive is all I can say. That drum is in phenomenal shape. And in here, look guys, I would say it's pretty safe bet that this thing had a brake job probably close to before it was parked. Hardware looks great. Y'all see that rust coming out of there though? When we pop that seal and that wheel cylinder, them wheel cylinders ain't gonna be no good. Honestly, the shoes and hardware and all that, we could probably run as is. Just need to swap that sucker out. That's not good. It's acting like it's a 10 millimeter, not 3/8. So I ain't gonna pull off no more than I have to here, guys. I'm gonna just try to get these wheel cylinders snuck out of here. There's just crud on our line. I finally got that off there, and I got her 2 bolts pulled, so she should be ready to come out. So there we go. That's all it takes right there. See all that rust? That thing ain't gonna last. Then we can take our new one there and just wiggle it right back into place. Got our new wheel cylinder in, guys. Just got our bolts started. Make sure you get your little plungers or pushers in there or whatever. Now their cable here are hooked to this spring, so I'm hoping I can get this stuff started and then pull this spring and be able to get that cable on there. Kind of forgot how to do these cable ones. And that'll work for that. The only problem is going to be now getting that one to there. If you don't have these tools for doing this little set of plier thing here, it's a game changer for doing drums, guys. Though you can't tell since I'm butchering these. Alright, these are locking. Oh, that rolled up out of there. There we go. There she is, back together. So we take that spring out, get that all hooked up, and then put that spring on. That's the best way to do it. Well, that right there is a problem. Gosh darn it. Just can't catch a break. Holy cow. That thing. Oh, that ain't even a... That ain't the right one. That's the problem. That's for an inverted flare. That is not. Well, ran to the parts house. They searched that part number. They can get those, but it's going to be like 3 o'clock tomorrow, which don't really do me no good. I mean, it does, but it don't. I was hoping they'd have just some more rubber hoses in stock similar to the front ones, but this parts house down here They let me look through all their hoses and stuff. I searched that parts house high and low, guys. There's not a single combination in there I can do to convert this. Not tonight anyhow. At least I found me a sandwich at the gas station. I'm gonna head back and at least tear into the front ones to see if we got the correct parts for in there. And yes, it crossed my mind to knock these out and try to swap these internals in. I hammered on those. They didn't budge one bit. Actually, before we set this rear end down, we gotta try this rear brake hose. It was buried in grit and grime, but once you get it cleaned up and bust her loose, she's just threading right out. I'm gonna be careful of this. Just trying to spin that line. Oh, there it went. We won't be twisting brake lines if we don't have to be. Pull our clip. Here's our hose. Here's our new one. Looks like it should work. The line went on, guys, so that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and do the heat and beat on our other drum since I'm here. Oh, there's a train. Hello, people. They're like, look at that jackass. And then, guys, I'm gonna move to the front. Hopefully no surprises there, and it's kind of a repeat of what I showed you on the back is what I'm hoping. Our other rear one came right off. Shoo! Well, this drum just don't want to come off here. I noticed when the wheel was on here, this was a little loose anyhow, so it actually needs tightened up a hair. Yep, she is a little loose, but for now, we're gonna see if we pull this, if we can just pull this sucker off. Probably won't hurt to throw a little grease in this one anyhow. Very similar to the rear, guys, as far as the condition of it goes. Everything overall is in really good shape. Pull that front one out just the same. That hose came off nice and easy. And then for these ones, because we have the proper hoses, you put a copper washer on there to seal it. You don't need the inverted flare. And I was about to be hotter than a two-pecker Tomcat because I thought it didn't come with the copper washers. I found two. So one set actually did not come with copper washers like it should have. All of our brake stuff went back together beautifully, guys. Looks like the only incorrect parts we got are the actual rear wheel cylinders. We'll clean her up a little brake clean. Well, there's still some grease in there. She's decent, so we'll leave that. I'll just spray off this stuff, put a little fresh grease on that, and we'll call her a day. Clean the hand. One dollop of grease, please. Probably should just put the sucker back together, but here we are. Well, it's working. See how it rolls that old stuff out of there? Hear that, or that's coming off my hand because it's still filthy.
Get it going again?
Yeah, if everything goes right, that's kind of the plan.
I just figured you had someone right down there with you to drive your van back, or car, or whatever, you know.
This is my dad who'd hollered at me on that side. I tightened up that nut, pop her cap on. Got this whole driver's side done, guys. Hose, wheel cylinder. This side was very similar. Everything in there looked really good. The seal on the inside was pretty not good. So we'll probably have to get back in there. So I just put it back together as is. I think she'll be good enough to make the drive. Dang, that little light gets bright. Well, unfortunately, guys, that is about as far as we can make it without the proper rear wheel cylinders. I really wish we had those. Good morning, and boy do I mean good morning. I did a lot of parts researching, ended up finding a new set of part numbers for rear wheel cylinders, and O'Reilly's had them in stock, baby. They're already swapped out, guys. Brakes are done, well, other than blading them. Minor details. Good thing we soaked that yesterday. That came right off. Pulled our locking plate right there. That's what pins our steering, so we want to make sure to get that undone. Next, we got to keep figuring out how to get down into here. Guys, pulling that stuff really didn't help. I ended up just having to finish breaking that out of there where I can get in there on that rack. And now that I did, there we go. So I didn't believe this thing to have adjustable rockers, which I still don't believe it does, but I'm gonna pull these valve covers. What's that?
You gonna drive today?
I think I'm gonna head towards the house in it at some point. I better sooner. I may be looking for a new wife, you know what I mean?
Right.
Well, pop that off there, and we got some good news. The good news is there is some oil up here, guys. So she's oiling. Right there's what we're hearing. These are not adjustable, okay? So that's just wear. I'm guessing from, you know, lifters not lifting. But nothing terrifying. I mean, there ain't nothing broke in here or something loose, which is just what I wanted to put eyes on. Seeing oil in there makes me feel better, and Croil's really good stuff. So I'm gonna spray down in on these push rods, down around in there, and just hope, you know, it does a little something for me. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. Now, as far as wiring on this, I'm gonna give it the California special. Hook this up to our battery post, and other than the cable that feeds the starter, I unhooked everything else. So this is the only thing that's gonna take 12 volts. Since we're not charging, we don't want to use no more power than we have to, because we're gonna be running off battery power. Our white wire I ran to our coil, and I unhooked the wire from there too, because I don't want no tricky stuff like something stay running when I pull coil wire like earlier. So to make this run, we twist those two together, and then we should bump that to that. She's gonna idle for me, didn't even touch the carburetor. Then she'll die. It looks like she's actually in park. Pull her to reverse. She's spinning. We'll bring her to a stop. All right, so park does work. Popped inside, guys, got our needles back in that cap. Luckily, I'd found them all underneath the car. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. A rebuild in a bottle. All right. Go ahead. Let's give her one more. Got a spit of air. Boy howdy, she's got a pedal, and a damn good one. Easiest brake bleeding I've done in a long time. Well, I think we're ready to test drive this thing. We'll just test it on the road out here. We still need to check like trans fluid and stuff. But let's see what happens here. Apparently the air conditioning's broken. She's doing it, guys. Oh, door's open. Don't worry about that. Slight hiccup. Someone reinstalled the steering wheel a little crooked. She sounds rough, but apparently that door ain't closed neither. Oh, big old ditch I just blasted through. You want to test the suspension. Guys, she's driving. We've got good oil pressure. She ain't no just massive powerhouse. Brakes feel dang good. Like, man, that sucker will stop. She's running. She'll go. Go! So will that door. Transmission, I'm assuming it's gonna need some fluid. I did hear it shift though. She shifted. We're gonna have to bungee it closed. Well, we made her on our first test drive. Yeah, I know what to do besides make sure the battery's strapped in, make sure that door's strapped, throw a few tools in here and hit the road. You're flooding out. Float sticking. See the fuel go away and now the idle's coming back? Well, she keeps flooding, so I'm gonna pull the top off. Don't worry about that 4-piece gasket. She seems like she's trying to work, she's just not working. Let's pop her up out of there. Looking yummy. I'll try to soak up some of that fuel. I do have a carburetor kit. This was the one thing I expected to have to work on. Not everything else that we've ended up having to work on. But I really don't want to take this all the way apart, so maybe we'll just check out our needle and seat here, clean out this bowl, and try slapping that back together. None of our jets are clogged up. little trash in the bottom. Well, their new stuff in, the main thing I did was adjust that so it'll close it a little sooner. Before that thing was coming way up here. That's appeared to fix our flooding. That's solid. Got one box of goodies. Got our jump pack, some tools. Bringing our water just in case. Door is nice and secure. Got a fire extinguisher up front with us. We need to do one more thing. We'll be ready to hit the road. Then we'll be driving with a dirty windshield. Well, I just said my goodbyes to these gentlemen. Appreciate them letting me do that. Nice meeting you. That gentleman new of the channel, which is cool. Got to meet a few people down here. Guys, we're gonna try it. Let's hit the road. Woo! Here we go, guys. Shout out to Roadkill forever ago. Watched them do episode 11. The gentleman here told me it was 11. And they inspired a lot of people then. So I'm gonna dedicate this one to those boys there, old Finnegan and Freiberger, for inspiring generations. Guys, I think first things first, we need to get to a parts place. I do not have a spare coil, and I read on this one it said 12 volt but used with resistor. Well, we don't have a resistor. And other than that, we need to fill up the gas tank because we ain't got a clue how much we have. There we go. She just grabbed third. We're doing it, guys. We're doing it. Well, she sure seems to be running all right. We'll just hop in right here behind this big rig. Especially as we get a feel for this thing, we don't have to be in a hurry, guys. Slow and steady wins the race. Very first exit place right in front of me. She's got a signed over title and insurance, so she should be legit. She was just wanting to kind of idle down lower than I cared for, so I put her up in park. Luckily for me, this light takes about 3 hours to change. We've got a green light again, but all this is entirely at a stop because of construction. About the worst place we could be. And she's quickly developing a little misfire, so I'm gonna get on down the road instead of sitting there waiting for this thing to die. Well, I can just come a hop skip down the road. We don't need an extra coil, do we? As long as she starts back, we'll be good. Only the finest for this sweet baby. I checked all of our plug wires, make sure one hadn't come loose. It don't run like it has a bad miss when we're going down the road. It was just there at idle, so I'm gonna try my luck. We got a bunch of petrol in the back now. I don't have a coil, but we're just gonna risk it for the biscuit, baby. Uh-oh. Luckily we got her going because we don't want to do a lot of cranking and kill our battery. Here we go, here we go. A few hours to the house. That's all we need out of her. She don't feel bad other than those helper springs on the rear that has this butt jacked up so much. Makes the rear ride really rough. Steering and front end and stuff feels really good on it for what it is. And it's crazy how much it's smoothing up right here. Let's see how fast we're going. Speedo says we're running 70. My GPS app's bouncing at 68, 69. So our speedo's pretty dang accurate. And it seems really happy here at 70. Come on home, old girl. I know you want to go home. It's a good thing last night I studied up on my hand signals. El Camino. She looks like she's staying right at 190 on temperature, guys, which I thought she was going to stay lower for us actually. And then she's sitting about 50 psi on her oil still. I wish I could tell you the motor didn't sound like it was chattering as much, but I don't think that's the case quite yet. Roll on. She's on heat, and I guarantee y'all that heater core works because I can feel the heat circling around in here. Getting through this portion of construction is what I'm looking forward to.
She's doing pretty good. You just feel better driving without concrete barriers 3 foot from you. I think some of the motors probably quieted down some. I don't think as many are chattering as they were. Progress. We got some curves coming up and that makes me happy. The more curves I see, the more I know we're getting closer to Oklahoma. Oh, uh-oh. Our temperature's creeping up. She's probably about 220 now, 215 maybe. That ain't good. And we just passed the last stop that I'm aware of with a gas station. Yeah, she's climbed up to 230, guys. So I'm gonna pull over right here and shut her down. Well, dang it. Oh, she's rolling some smoke. Uh-oh. I had safety wired this. Well, and that spewing's coming from our overflow, so that's a good thing. We'd rather it be from the overflow than from a hole in the radiator. Well, it don't look like we've been doing any more flooding. This thing's just hot as can be. It held really good at 200 for a long time. I was keeping an eye on it, but she finally just gave out. Can't keep up, I guess. Well, I said this was inspired by roadkill. Tie wire on our rear to the roof rack. Put our bunch of cables across here, and I even zip tied it on there. Be a great time to have a ratchet strap. All right, let's try our luck. She had plenty of time to cool off, which is good. Boy, I don't know. So this transmission just went from being in drive to it didn't want to shift till I bumped up one. But look, right up there, now it's in park. That's in neutral. That's in park. This thing is just shifting all over the place. So we got to make sure to get it in drive here. She just locked the tires up and we skid along. Luckily I waited till there's no one back there. There it goes. I bumped it up again, and I don't know if it's kicking it to reverse, but then it shifted. So this transmission's funky. I think we've got it whooped now. The hood feels nice and secure. The good thing was I was able to pull it back into the roof rack with that tie wire where the back of it's really wedged in there. So as long as we don't let the front have any slop or flop, it should be solid. She's staying below 190 now. It ain't crept up any. We are creeping up on Oklahoma though. Well, that thing going into reverse from a 30-mile-per-hour roll was kind of scary. It didn't feel dangerous. It controlled just fine. I more or less thought we were done for there. I thought something just sheared. If you ever cross the bridge and you see a sign that says the Mistress, you're about to be in Oklahoma or Texas. There's the Red River, baby! Still staying below $190. Check our hood. It feels good. That bungee strap slapping around up there making a little noise, but that's it. Sounds like a machine gun up there. Let's go, mama! She's officially made her back up to $190. I'm gonna be keeping an eyeball on it. I'll bump her over every once in a while where I can still read it. I had to slow down. I slowed us down to about 60, and that stopped that from creeping up from what I can tell. I think we're staying right at 200, so I'm gonna just run slower and hope we can maintain. A couple big hills killed it, guys. It's crept up. It's about 220 now. I've tried going a little slower to see if that helps. It ain't. I'm gonna try to push her a little faster, try to move more air through the radiator, see if that makes her hotter. Looks like we got to exit in 1 mile. I'm gonna probably try to make it there where at least we're not on the side of the road, a little less dangerous. Oh, and there's a McDonald's and Sonic, so we got plenty to eat. Shoo! She's officially just below 230, entirely too hot.
There's a trucker stop here, it looks like. I wish I could put it in neutral and let her coast some, but I'm afraid I'll lock her into reverse. If this thing cooled off as good as it stops, we'd be in really good shape. All I did was turn it off. It's already dropped a good bit. I feel like we're right in a pretty fine line where we're close to it cooling. So I don't know if maybe she's a little low on stuff. It could be the fact that this thing is full of rust and needs a really good flushing. Or it could be, who knows? I'm gonna let her cool off and go relieve some pressure and fluid myself. I don't recommend anyone to do this. We got a lot of steam out of her. I'd like to be able to check that and see if she's low at all. There we go. I just held her till she let all the steam out. Well, she's hot down in there. I got a good gallon of the cold stuff inside. Pert near got a whole gallon in her. So hopefully she's just a little low, and now she's gonna quit riding that fine line. She's gonna stay nice and cool for us. It's our transmission, guys. Even though she's up in park, the sucker's still in gear. And it won't go to anything else. What the heck? I gave her a bump of brake clean and busted her off, and she started, but she tried shooting forward. I'd get on the brake, and now it's running, but we're literally stuck in drive. No matter where I'm going, we're in drive. Thank you. Thank you. Well, at least now, if we get her going in drive, we can just drive. Don't worry. Back here, it went back into park. She's got fluid, guys. At the junkyard, I checked it with it in neutral and topped it off till it read good. It may be the shifter linkage is out of adjustment and everything's just too dang tight. Oh, we're smoking pretty good. First and it shifted. I promise y'all, we are not in first. I think it needs to shift again. There she went. I think the shifter may be out of adjustment. Everything's just way too tight or something. Something's worn out down there because I just worked it. We're in third gear again. So I'm gonna cruise along. Uh-oh. Here comes police. All I can do is keep driving, guys, and hope she cooperates. I just looked it up. It says we're 90 miles from the house now. So we've covered some ground, guys. We'll just see how far we make it this go around before it creeps up on us again. It's really hard to keep this thing at 60 because I know it can do 70. Well, it's been about 5-10 minutes and she seems to be staying at 190. I just remembered this thing don't have a thermostat, and with a new water pump, that thing may be circulating pretty dang good. So we may need to restrict like the upper hose to actually keep the water in the radiator longer so it has more chance to actually cool off in there. So we'll see how she does. But that'll be my next thing we try as a fix. Luckily, I was real smart. Drank a big old bottle of water, drank this, a little can of soda thing, another water. So I've just got to pee about every 20 minutes now. But not on this trip, by golly. We're holding it.
Woo, doggy. We made it to Ardmore. Sitting 195 to 200, so she's come up just a hair. I'm definitely the slow guy, because everyone's blowing around me. What a beautiful day to look at beautiful swamps and drive a beautiful car. I've been 60 to 65 and temp seems to be maintaining. So does the amount of traffic that's passing me. Always a joy to drive through here, especially when you're not overheating. What is that? That's weird. I don't remember filling that bottle up with gas. I got spicy, guys. I tried to run her 65 to 70 and that temp started creeping up, so I slowed her back down. Well, got a highway patrol sitting up here looking this way. So I figure if we're gonna get pulled over, it's gonna be right about now. He didn't even bat an eye. He said that's normal Oklahoma things. Good deal. Exit 51, that's one we're taking. Hey, trash flying up. Old newspaper. We better say that so we can read it later. Here's our Oklahoma mountains. They're about as tall as a gopher mound. And as we get ready to take this exit, guys, I'm more nervous about this than anything. Because I don't know how this thing's gonna act when it starts downshifting. Or if it even will downshift. We also don't know if moving at slower speeds if we're gonna overheat this thing. So let's figure out our new unknowns. I didn't hear it downshift, but maybe it don't have to at this speed. Another square body. We're cruising 50. Temp is staying good. Alright, here we come into town where we actually got to really slow down. So now we'll see what actually happens. I haven't felt it shift. As long as it stays running, who cares? Just a yield here. We get to go through it. We do have a couple stoplights coming up. And it looks like we're gonna be nice enough to catch the stoplight. So I'm gonna take my time creeping up here, just where it can stay moving some. Oh, she turned green. Oh yeah. I don't think she downshifted, guys. I think we're still in third gear. Come on, come on. This little road takes you around that town where we ain't got to go through it. And then between here and my house now, we've got a few tiny towns, but I think we may have a handful of stop signs, and that should be it. And don't get me wrong, we're still an hour from the house, but we're back in the country roads now, guys. They're not dirt, but you know what I mean. She's still in third gear. She don't want to be in nothing else. She's still running at $190. Let's get to the house. This down here will be the first stop sign I've came to since that very first stoplight when we first started driving it. And I'm kind of worried she may die. Get on the brakes with my left and keep on the gas with my right. Shoot, she's doing good. Definitely in third. Vroom vroom, chatter chatter, engine noises. Damn wind. Turn left here. We've pretty well got straight shot now, guys. I think I felt it shift once that time. Pulled up there and a cloud of smoke just passed me. The good thing is we're about 20 minutes out, guys. Tecumseh, America, 22 miles.
Y'all see the water on the windshield? I tried running her a little harder to see if she could handle it. And she's staying just a hair above 200, but she just puked a little bit, so I better slow her back down. It handled it for a good little bit though. Yes! Guys, this is my road, so we're damn near home. Polish that off with a burnout, no help required. Guys, we have successfully made it to the house where it's super windy. A couple burnouts may have got her warm. Cold water sounds good. Have I mentioned I love wagons? I think that's why this one stood out to me so much, guys, and I just had to drive something back. Tried to, like I said, shout out to the Roadkill guys for the inspiration. To all the other channels who do the reviving drives and who's made that popular, obviously Vice Grip, Pole Barn, Junkyard Digs, all those guys, they've been cranking out, you know, all kinds of content like that. I had a blast doing this one, guys. This thing fought me and fought me and fought me, and I will say, halfway through about yesterday, I was like, boy, this ain't gonna end up working out. And that just went, I think we could keep going. That motor's chattering. I don't know if lifters never lifted or if underneath those rocker arms are just worn out and there's that much chatter in it, but it seems pretty happy. That's not to say she don't have her problems. Don't forget, there's still a spark plug that's stuck. We don't know anything about that. As far as the transmission goes, I'm still leaning towards shifter, because just then I'd keep wiggling different spots and I could get it in park. I never did find reverse, but I believe in my heart she's still there somewhere. So I know what you're all thinking, where do we go from here? Well, if I can be totally honest, I don't know, because I guess a little more research needs to be done and figure out why is the motor chattering. Even if not, she sure does smoke a lot. So I think that motor needs gone through. We are not going through a 304, but I don't know, guys. I just don't know. Who wants a turd? Come get it. Just playing. Don't show up here trying to take this wagon. Guys, I hope y'all enjoyed. I had a blast doing that. That being said, I am super ready for a good quality shower. I am very much ready to see my girls. That's been the hardest part of doing all of this. Being away from them for 3-4 days now. And but I hope y'all really enjoyed this content. Maybe we can do some stuff like this every so often. I'm not gonna become a channel that just does them all the time. But like I said, I'd be lying if I didn't tell you I just had fun. If y'all wanna watch videos ad-free, you can check me out on Patreon. Same content, you just don't gotta watch ads. Great way to support me and my girls. Puddins.fab.shop for that good quality merchandise. Another great direct way to support me and my family. We handle it all in-house. Much other than that, guys, I'm on the TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm not super active on them, but I'm on there. Y'all give me a follow there. Now I'm gonna go shower because I smell like death. I guess I should figure out a ride to go down there to get my van, because I still have no clue how I'm gonna get it back. Not really a big deal, it's fine. And much other than that, do not forget, guys, sitting on your ass will not finish your project. I'll see y'all in the next one. Just tossing that in there. I cannot believe that, Chris. I cannot. I was like literally thinking I was gonna have to get hubcaps, you know, just anything. The first damn thing I look in, there's a drain pan, like quite literally a freaking drain pan. Ain't nobody gonna believe it. Kind of like before, Chris, you can use that clip of me running away, and then I'll pick up when I get closer. All right, Chris, I set up over here where I can run back over there and then come running this way. Another behind the scenes. Chris, I've ended up with an extra damn bolt somehow, and I have no clue how. Chris, I doubt that thing even tried to do a burnout. Couldn't tell if it was or not.